Welcome to today's video where I am making my bullet journal setup for June. This will be all the spreads I will be using this month, as well as one of my weekly setups. Since this is late in the month, I am going to have a quick and simple setup for June. I ran out of space in my previous journal, so I am starting a new one. My plan is to have a simple setup so that it doesn't take a lot of time to complete. I am going to be using markers for outlining and lettering, and then colored pencils for the backgrounds, meaning any background decorations I make for the lettering, I will be using colored pencils. Hopefully everything turns out as planned, so let's get started with setup. To start out, we have the cover page. I tend to have 2 pages for it because I like to have one page for the theme and the other for the month's title. This time I am having a single page. Since I want to make a quick setup, I thought it would fit to have 1 page rather than 2. In terms of theme, I don't think I really have one. I just want to make different squares for background decoration. I am focusing more on the color palette for this month rather than a theme. For the color palette, I am focusing on purple, yellow, and blue colors. I really like those colors and wanted to see how they would work together in the setup. For the lettering, I am keeping it simple, kind of bubbly letters in lowercase. I do have each on a different line. I am not sure if it's called wavy letters, but I call it wavy lettering. The letters are not on the same line and thus make a wave kind of shape when you look at it. After that, I am adding a background to the letters because I thought it would be a nice touch. Then at the end, I am adding some squiggly lines for decoration to make the setup look lively. So I messed up the order when I was sketching out my setup. I put the cover page on the right page and forgot completely about the left page. At first, I thought about erasing everything, but that would mean making everything again on another page, and that seemed very unnecessary for me, which is why I have the left page monthly tasks and goals rather than the cover page. I tend to have this spread at the middle of the calendar as a half page, but I had an uneven amount of spreads in my setup, so I wanted to have it as its own page to keep my setup even. I am interested in seeing if I use all of the space or if it works better as a half page rather than a whole page. I have tasks that I most likely will forget if I do not write it down in this area, which is why I like having an area for monthly tasks. Then goals is just any monthly goals I have for myself. On the next page is 2 lines a day. Since I have to have space for writing, I am limited with space to decorate in, which is great for this month particularly, since I want to keep it simple, just writing out the title and making the space for each day to write in. I wanted to note that in each of the spreads, I am trying to alternate the colors that I use. So for this one, I am using blue and yellow colors. These colors work very well together, and I like the contrast that they make. Then it's Habit Tracker. This is another spread that has a lot of tables to it, so I don't have a lot of space to draw in, which is great this month because I am keeping it simple. These spreads are pretty quick to go through since I am just making some squares or rectangles for decoration. I did use colored pencils for making each of the habit boxes, and now looking at it, I don't think that was the best idea. It doesn't look that bad, so it's okay, but the next time I won't use colored pencils for outlining boxes. I have a page and a half for this so that I can have my sleeping tracker fit as well as add a bit more habits without cluttering the page. It's nice using half a page because of the space, especially when it's also beneficial to the other spread I have on the next page as well. Now we are on to Content Planner, where the colors I am using are blue and purple. I think these colors fit well with each other, and for the mini calendar, I am having each column separated. So rather than having a typical calendar, I have a gap between each day of the week. For me, this fits with the style that I have for this month, and it's interesting trying different calendar styles, especially for my content planner. The extra half page helped with giving it more space for the calendar. Any other space on this page will be for me to write notes in, plan out, or anything I want to write down in regards towards content for this month or the next. Next is Brain Dump. This is going to look pretty empty this month since I am not decorating a lot. The good thing about that is that I will have more space to write in or draw in later in this month. Since I use both pages for this, I am having the title at the middle of the page. It's nice being able to place the title in a different place than I usually do, especially with other spreads I have where I have limited space where I can write the title. So it's nice when I can have it in the middle or anywhere else I want in the page. June calendar is going to be the same thing as the content planner. I am separating each of the days of the week. This is becoming one of my favorite ways of having my calendar look in these setups. Somehow having a gap between each day makes the calendar look neater for me. This time I get to make the calendar together since I don't have a small page in between the calendar, which is not something I usually have because I usually have like a monthly task or something else in the middle. So it is easier for me to write in June and just have everything even since I don't have to go back and forth between two pages since they're right next to each other. What's funny is I had a ruler and preferred to freehand the lines for this month. It was literally next to me and I never used it because I just seemed to have thought freehanding is the way to go this month. But I think it was a good idea and the uneven lines are charming. have this like that, but I'm just going to put some washi tape so that this is noticeable. See, washi tape. So I'm just going to put this on the back. There we go, and then it should be fine now. My first weekly spread for June. Now this doesn't make sense a lot since I am editing this video near the end of June, and so I'm not even near the first week of June. I'm literally at the last week of June if I get this out on time. But it's just to show how I make my weekly spreads. I just continue the theme that for the month I have and just make space for all the days of the week that I have for this week. I just wanted to add that I am so sorry for this video being out super late. I wanted to have this out earlier, at least a week before this, but I wasn't able to, and I was thinking of not posting this since it is so late in June and it seemed kind of weird to do that. But then I thought about how I didn't want to have 1 month I didn't make a video for, so I focused on editing this as quickly as possible to get it out, and hopefully I do get it out on time. And in general, it's a nice way just to see a setup. It's not like this one has to be for June, it's just kind of like an idea or just how I make my process of my monthly journal setup, so it's just nice to have and look at whatever time. It doesn't have to be just for June. I like how all the spreads turned out. I planned this out later than I would have liked, so to save time in making it, I went with a simple setup. I didn't have to draw in the setup, which helped in finishing this quicker. The setup turned out really nice. Sorry for the lateness of this video again. Next month, I should get back to consistently uploading, hopefully. Also, thank you for watching this part if you have, and until the next video, bye! As always, a goodbye from Blobby here. Goodbye!